Breaks occur in almost every video game. From minigames to cutscenes to menus to loading screens, there are moments where core gameplay is interrupted. Space practice is a technique where taking breaks between each task session leads to improved acquisition of a skill and better immediate performance. Compared to continuous practice, where there is no break, there is a large amount of research that shows the benefit of space practice in many different areas. There is some research into the space practice effect in video games, but it is limited. In our research, we investigate two questions. Does the space practice effect apply in complex video games? And does the break type influence the effectiveness of space practice in video games? We created our own 2D platforming game where players would have to run, jump, and grapple in order to progress through a repeating level, trying to complete the level as fast as they could. There were 4 gameplay segments that were 5 minutes each, with 3 breaks in between each gameplay segment. Player skill was measured based on the average time it took them to complete a level over the course of 4 segments, and how far they made it from the start of the level in each session. We ran 2 experiments using this platformer. Experiment 1 was done to see if the spaced practice effect applied to a complex video game, specifically a 2D platformer. Experiment 1 had 2 conditions, a 2-minute spaced practice condition and a 3-second continuous practice condition. Experiment 2 was to see if different break conditions affect the player's performance during space practice. We categorized the breaks based on 2 axes, intensity, or the level of interaction needed to conduct the activity, and similarity, how close the activity was to the skills needed during the primary game task. Based on this criteria, we created 4 different break conditions, each being 2 minutes long. A low similarity, low intensity dialogue scene. A high similarity, high intensity grappling minigame. A high similarity, low intensity slow motion grapple minigame. And a low similarity, high intensity maze minigame. Our results for Experiment 1 indicate that the space practice effect works in 2D side-scrolling platformers and had no effect on the player's subjective experience, specifically showing that taking a break did not harm enjoyment or flow experience. Our results for Experiment 2 indicate that the break type did not influence performance in a significant way and did not affect players' subjective experience. Neither intensity or similarity of the task had a significant impact on how the players performed. The performance of the participants in Experiment 2 showed a similar learning curve to the learning curve from the spaced practice group in Experiment 1. This indicates that in-game break activities did not negate the effects of space practice. In sum, we show that taking breaks improves performance in a complex game, but does not hinder flow or enjoyment, and that the break type does not negate its benefits, leaving designers freedom to design the breaks of their choice.